Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you the new method of factoring trinomials without using trial and error. Alright, so let's take a look at the first example. So for example, we need to factor s squared plus 8s plus 15. Alright. Now first we need to identify A, B, and C. So A equals 1, B equals 8, and C equals 15. Alright, so traditionally you're gonna use method to factor this one. Alright, so you need to find two integers multiply equals 15, add up to 8. Right? So you're gonna do some mental math. Right? So it's gonna be 3 and 5. Alright, so the answer must be s plus 3 times s plus 5. Alright, that's very simple, right? But what if you come across this example? S squared minus 28s plus 192. And then it takes you longer to factor this one using trial and error method. Alright, so I'm going to show you the second method to do this one without guessing and checking. Alright, so the second method I'm going to use for this one right here. So I look at the coefficient b right here. I'm going to take coefficient b and then I'm going to divide by 2. So 8 divided by 2 is going to be equal to 4. I have m plus n equal to 8. And those integers must multiply equals 15. So does that mean m times n equals 15, right? Now, I just figure out 4 right here. So I have 4 plus 4 equals 8, right? Now, if I reduce number 4 on the left by 1, right? So that means 4 minus 1. And then the right hand side I must add 1, right? So 4 plus 1 is still equal to 8. Do you see that? So the left hand side, if I reduce this number by 2, so it will be 4 minus 2. The right hand side must be 4 plus 2. It's still 8, right? So now if you look at the number line right here, the middle numbers right here is 4, right? Now if I reduce this the left hand side by 2, and then the right hand side right here I must add 2, right? So if I reduce this one by 2, I get 2 right here. If I add this guy by 2, I get 6 right here. So when I add 2 and 6, I still get 8, right? Okay, so in general, I just put 4 minus a letter k right here. And this one is going to be 4 plus letter k right here, right? Equals to 8. Now I'm going to use the first number right here and the second number right here. I'm going to multiply equal to 15, right? So m times n equal 15. This is m. This is n. So I have 4 minus k times 4 plus k equal to 15, right? So I'm going to use difference of 2 square. This guy turns out to be 4 square minus k square equal to 15, right? So k square equals 16 minus 15 equal to 1, right? So k equals square root of 1, which means plus and minus 1. Now I either use plus 1 or minus 1. I substitute back over here, I get m and n, right? So I put 1 back over here. So m equal to 3. And then k go over here, n equal to 5, right? So then I have the factor is going to be s plus 3 times s plus 5. Alright, So this is the second method. Now, you could say that, oh, this method is really complicated compared to this method. Yes, it's complicated when it comes to very simple problems. But when it comes to a very complicated problem, it's much more useful because it takes you longer to factor this trinomial using trial and error. Alright, so we're going to use the new method over here to factor this one. So the first thing we need to do is to take negative 28 divided by 2. So negative 28 divided by 2 is going to be negative 14, right? Now I need to form negative 14 plus a number k times negative 14 minus a number k equals 192 right here. Alright, I use difference of 2 square. This guy turns out to be negative 14 square is going to be 196 minus k square equals 192. Right? So k square equals 4. K equals plus and minus 2. Now I'm going to take k equal to 2. I substitute back over here, so I have m equals negative 14 plus k, which means negative 12. And n equals negative 14 minus k, which means negative 16. Right? So I have the factor as minus 12 times s minus 16. Right? By doing this way, I don't have to guess and check. So this is my final answer. Now let's move on to the third example. S squared plus 11s plus 30. Alright, so I'm going to take 11 divided by 2. 11 divided by 2. Right? And then I need to form 11 divided by 2 plus k times 11 divided by 2 minus k equal to 30, right? So I use difference of 2 squared, so it could be 121 over 4 minus k squared equals 30. Alright, so k squared equals 121 over 4 minus 120 over 4, which means 1 over 4. Alright, so k equals plus and minus 1/2, right? So I substitute k equals 1/2 into this one right here. So I have m equals 11 over 2 plus 1/2, which is 6, and equals 11 over 2 minus 1/2, which is 5, right? So this guy turns out to be s plus 6 times s plus 5, right? Now let's move on to the next one. Let's factor 3s squared minus 2s minus 5. Now I'm going to use two methods. Alright, so I'm going to use traditional method. I need to find two integers multiply equals 8 times c. So it could be 3 times negative 5, which means negative 15. And add up to negative 2. So two numbers should be negative 5 and 3, right? In order to do this method, you must have very good mental math, right? So I have s minus 5 times s plus 3. So I take the constant right here, I divide by 3 right here. Divide this guy by 3. Right, 5 cannot divide by 3, so I multiply this one. So it could be 3s minus 5. And this one, 3 divided by 3, this could be 1, so s plus 1. This is your final answer. Now I'm going to use the second method right here. So second method, I need to factor 3 out. So it could be 3s squared minus 2 third s minus 5 third, right? Alright, so I take negative 2 thirds right here. I need to divide by 2. So this guy turns out to be negative 1 third, right? So I form negative 1 third plus k times negative 1 third minus k equals negative 5 thirds right here. Alright, so I'm going to use difference of 2 square. So I'm going to use difference of 2 square formula. So it's going to be 1 over 9 minus k square equals negative 5 third, right? So k square equals 1 over 9 plus 5 third, right? And then this guy turns out to be 16 over 9, right? And then I take square root both sides, it's going to be k equals plus and minus 4 over 3. So I pick k equals 4 over 3. I substitute back over here. So I have two numbers, m equals 4, 3 go over here, it's going to be 1. And then n equals negative 5 over 3, right? So this one can be written as 3 times s plus 1 times s minus 5 over 3. I can leave my answer like this, or I can multiply 3 over here. Okay, so if you multiply 3, you just distribute 3 into the one factor only. So this guy turns out to be s plus 1 times 3s minus 5. And this guy right here is the same thing as this guy. Now let's move on to the next example. So for example, we need to factor 2s squared plus 5s minus 2. Alright, so the first thing you need to do is to factor 2 out. So it can be s squared plus 5 over 2s minus 1, right? Now, next one, I need to take the middle terms right here, divide by 2, right? So it could be 5 over 2 divided by 2. This guy turns out to be 5 over 4. So I need to form a product, right? So it could be 5 over 4 plus k times 5 over 4 minus k equals this guy right here, right? This is c, negative 1, right? So I use difference of 2 square formula. It's going to be 25 over 16 minus k square equals negative 1. Alright, so k square equals 41 over 16, right? So I take square root both sides, so k equals plus and minus square root of 41 over 4, right? So I need to pick k equals square root of 41 over 4. I substitute back over here. Alright, so I get two numbers m and n. M equals 5 plus square root of 41 over 4. And n equals 5 minus square root of 41 over 4, right? So this guy right here can be factor as 2 times s plus 5 plus root 41 over 4 times s plus 5 minus root 41 over 4. Now let's move on to the last example. For example, if we need to factor s squared plus 6s plus 11. Alright, discriminant of this one, it can be 36 minus 44 equals negative 5 less than 0. So this quadratic equation right here doesn't have real root. It has complex roots. Alright, so how do we factor this one? We do exactly the same thing, right? So we take 6 divided by 2. So 6 divided by 2 equals 3. And then we need to form a product. So we have 3 plus k times 3 minus k equals the letter C right here equals 11, right? So I'm going to use difference of 2 square. It's going to be 9 minus k square equals 11. So k square equals negative 2. Now I know that I square equals negative 1. So this guy can be written as 2i squared. So I need to take square root both sides. So k equals plus and minus I root 2, right? So I'm going to pick k equals I root 2, right? So I substitute back over here. So I have two numbers m and n. So m equals 3 plus I root 2 and n equals 3 minus I root 2, right? So this one can be written as plus 3 plus I root 2 times s plus 3 minus I root 2. Now it's your turn. Go ahead, factor this one. Number 1. Set s squared minus 11s minus 10. Number 2. 15s squared minus 27s minus 6. Number 3. S squared plus 3s plus 23. And it's your time to stop. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember that if you failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail.
We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun as she puts her hand in mine.